Hey YouTube, Appalachian ADV Rider here, coming to you live again. We're doing it live! If you know where that quote's from, put a comment down below. Alright, so we're here for another knife unboxing. Another USA made blade from USA made blade. Unrelated. Those names are unrelated. This knife was made in a good old US of A. And to open it up, got my XM-18 3.5 inch with the tie scale in battle bronze. It's a fatty with a Wharncliffe blade. And S45DN. Alright, let's get this thing started before it's another 18-minute video. I'm trying to keep my videos to under 15 minutes, which is still kind of long, but I don't know, I'm trying to give you information. It's important to get information, and I'm trying to approach it from a user standpoint. How does it feel to hold? What are the distinct characteristics of these knives? What does it compare to? Things like that. All right. Opening this box. It's a great day today. It's very, very warm in North Carolina. Yep, Bill. All right, so what do I have here? Oh, that's right. That is right, another Hinderer. Here's the Hinderer. And this is the Hinderer. It is my first time owning one of these. There we go, USA made blade. Ta-ta! All right. What else is in here? Sticker. Hand assembled and tuned by so-and-so. And here's a tri-way pivot. I gotta try the phosphor bronze washers. Maybe I'll install it on this thing. Move the packaging off to the side. And yeah, here we go. Check this out. It is the Eclipse, a Hinderer Eklipse. Huh. Feels light. Now, so I'm used to carrying this tie version of it. So let's see. Let's just take this slow. All right. Feels thinner. And is it? Yes, it is thinner. Well, I don't know if it is actually. It just feels lighter. Let's see. I love this texture that they have on their G10 and even their ties. The same exact texture. So that feels real good. They say the flipper is not as pointy as an XM-18 3.5 inch. And you know what? You'd have to be pretty sensitive to know the difference here, I think. And there's a lot of sensitive people out there, don't get me wrong. Yeah, it's a little better. But I think if you're going to complain about this, you're going to complain. So, anyway, so it feels light. So when I ordered this, you know how these things work, these drops. And if you don't, let me inform you. So I bought this on USA Made Blade, and you know, he drops it stuff randomly. He'll send you an email, and unless you're checking your email constantly, like he'll send an email 15 minutes before the sale, and then this will drop. So I actually happened to catch it, but they're not visible until you can buy them. So you can't look at them in advance and see, you know, which one you want. So as soon as this became available, I just had to, you know, buy it right away. I don't want to take a chance of missing it. I've been looking for an Eclipse for quite a while. And so this one was black, and I was like, all right, I'll get the black. Well, it turns out I got the black and blue one. And, you know, that's not horrible, but I don't know. Would that blue look better with the bronze? I think I could, anyway, regardless of that. So, already I ordered this and didn't realize it was the blue, so a little disappointed in that. But I'm happy to have it. And I'm sure, you know, you get used to these things. And I like having different colors. So, you know, should I get them all in the same color? No. I mean, so I didn't realize it, but I was doing myself a favor by ordering this by mistake. That's how I'm looking at it. So let's check it out. So the knife is centered, and I don't know if you can tell by this design, it's going to be a certain type of blade shape, which I happen to like. So let's just check out the flipping action. All right. I've never experienced an older Hinderer where the flip action sucked, but I can expect it would suck. You know, it's not easy to get this thing perfectly tuned right so that when you flip it, it just comes flying out. So they've done a good job recently. And so this is made in 20 CV, which is the same thing as M390, basically. It feels really sharp, which is good. I just love this Wharncliffe blade shape. It is such a practical, everyday blade shape. You can really get down into cutting boxes. It's a very piercing blade too. If you needed to pierce something, you know, it has a very sharp tip to it, and then it widens up very nicely here. So it's got some meat to it up on top. So that's really nice. I like that. Let's see, how does it feel? Yeah. So supposedly this blade here, this design here, is considered to be one of the better designs, or one of the best designs for these Hinderer knives, even better than the XM-18. You know, this is so new to me that I mean, I'm not going to comment on it. The pocket clip always comes tip down, and I'm going to switch that. So it's going to change the way it feels. Right now, you know, it feels good. You know, it definitely feels much lighter than this because it doesn't have a tie scale. This one has a tie scale. This one doesn't. I really prefer the weight of this one. So this does feel good, but I bet you it feels so much better with a tie scale on there. That's all I'm going to say. All right. So what else is there? So the finger guard, the lock bar is pretty easy to get to. That's a nice action, that dropping action there. Sounds a little dry, which is fine. You just put oil in it. This comes with the bearings in it. And like I said, I'm going to try to phosphor bronze washers this time. I might wait until I order a scale to do that. We'll see. I'll have to think about it. All right. So let's compare this. Let's do some weight on it first. I brought my scale out. There we go. What do you got here? 5 ounces. I'm just curious what this weighs with the tie scale. So this 6 ounces. I'm not sure how much that scale weighs. This, you know, this may weigh more than 5 ounces with the G10. So I'm not going to say anything there. All right, so we got that out of the way. There you go. Check out the size. So that tip is right there. Now let's compare it to this one. And the tip matches. All right, so you know, they're pretty much the same length. You know, this one, no, I guess. This one's ever so slightly longer, but let's just call this the same length, right? One of the advantages to this that I hear from other reviewers is that when you flip it, your finger doesn't land on a rough spot. So here you have this jimping here, and here there's no jimping. It's a nice smooth ramp. Does that bother me? Absolutely not. I mean, I hear what people say, and I respect that what they're saying is true to them. But it absolutely in no way bothers me one way or the other if there's jimping there or not. I do like the smooth feel to it. You know, but the jimping doesn't bother me. So I don't really have a strong feeling about the jimping here. All right, so there's definitely a different shape here too. So this is a little rounded here, and then it terminates in an angle, in a rounded angle, where this just kind of comes straight down, and then it's, you know, somewhat squared off, though there's no sharp edges here. So I love the way this XM-18 holds. It feels in the hand. I even like grabbing it down here sometimes, holding it and just feeling it. So this just feels great in the hand. So, you know, this one feels good. It's a little tinnier sounding because it's G10, and this just feels solid. And I've been, you know, carrying it quite a bit. This is actually my preferred carry knife when I'm not, you know, carrying a knife to review. So this is my tried and true. I just like that knife. I really like the Hinderers. And I like Les George. So, but I've been tending to carry this one here because of the blade shape. And it's just a practical blade shape. I really enjoy that blade shape. You know, and actually this blade does feel thinner than this. So this is, and it should, right? Because this is a fatty, and that's what the F stands for, fatty. And this doesn't say anything, so I guess it's a normal, you know, thickness. I'm not going to measure it. I don't have a tool anyway to measure it. All right, so going back to here, there is no milling on the inside of the scales, so no weight reduction milling. There is a steel lock bar insert here, so it's steel on steel surface at the end of the blade, or the tang of the blade. So that should wear better. It should last longer. There is a over travel stop here for the lock bar, and this is titanium. So you know, titanium doesn't have the same ability to remember its position, so you can like bend it out of shape easier. So this prevents you from going too far and messing up the tension in the knife. Here's a plate that when I switch this pocket clip, this plate will go over here. So this is a tip up or tip down knife carry, but you can't, it's not a lefty friendly carry, at least from the clip perspective. Though, you know, to flip it's great. You know, you don't have to be a right-hander or left-handed, but to disengage the lock, you know, you have to reposition your hand. But I would imagine the most important thing is being able to flip the knife with the proper hand, and this, I think, would work fine. So you can correct me, lefties, if you disagree with me down below. So this knife is made with typical Hinderer quality. There's no up and down play or side to side. These things here, they're not really thumb studs. They are blade stops. They add to the security of this blade. So you have a blade stop here, and then these two here. So it helps keep that play, make this blade a little bit more hard to use. Like I said, though, this is the thinner blade stock than this one here. This is the fatty. I'll pull this out. Let's talk about that for a second. So if you can see, I don't know, yeah, the blade stock to the one on the right, the XM-18, the fatty, is much thicker, as you can see there. And the tip is thicker. So this Wharncliffe here from the Eclipse is slicier. It's thinner stock, and also, I don't know if you can see that, the slope of this blade is not as steep. So it's longer. Let's see if I can put that. So if I put this blade flat to this line, and you can see where it compares, how it compares to this angled line here. And I'm going to do the same here. I'm going to put this flat, and then you can see that this almost, it's a 30-degree angle, where this here comes a lot sharper down. So there's less length than this one. So this is pokier. I was watching a video on one of the guys who created the Yojimbo 2, and he talked about the Wharncliffe blade and how the way it's designed is as you pierce the material, the tip goes into the material, and then the knife gets forced down because there's no blade here, and it pushes the knife into the material by the tip. So that's a great design. I really like this about the Wharncliffe blades. What else about this knife? It has a great closing action. I mean, this is a brand new knife. It's still pretty smooth. It doesn't have a double clutch, which is really, really good. Where when you let it go, it doesn't clear the deep temp bald, and you have to like basically take your finger off and reposition it to get it to go fully down. With here, you could just engage this lock bar here, let it drop to your thumb, and then move your finger out of the way, and it continues to come down. It has a really nice sound. But like I said, I prefer the weight of this. So if you like a light knife, then obviously leave the G10 scale on there. But if you like a heavier knife, you can replace this scale with a titanium, which I'm actually going to order it. I just really prefer that. And I want something to better match this blue. That's the good thing about Hinderer is there's a lot of options on the accessories you can get. And since I knew I was going to upgrade this to a titanium scale when I eventually found it, that didn't really matter what color I got. It was just what it mattered was I got it. And like I say, if you know how these things work, the drops work. If you wait 15 seconds sometimes after they release it, you'll miss out. So I didn't have a lot of time to go through and look at the pictures because they only showed the pictures as soon as the drop started. So you couldn't see in advance what they were going to drop, so you could do some research, like say an hour in advance, and then say, oh, when this happens I'm going to go to this one and buy it. So like I said, I saw it was blue. I saw it was black. I was like, fine, no problem. I assumed the rear was just going to be a titanium, like a silver. Don't ask me why I assumed that, but or even a bronze, because they've been doing a lot of this battle bronze recently. But anyway, doesn't matter. I like blue. The nice thing about the blue is in my blue jeans, this clip will be hidden. I wish the fasteners were also colored blue, but you can't have everything. But anyway, so what else? All right, I think I've covered everything that I needed to cover. This is a first impression of this knife. I really like it. I want it to be heavier, so I'm going to change that, but I knew when I ordered it. But obviously, I'm just used to this one here, and because this is a fatty, it's just going to be heavier blade stock or thicker blade stock, so it's just going to be heavier for the blade, and it's heavier because of the titanium scales. But this one has a much slicier blade, a longer tip to it, really good grip to it. It's doesn't have as much jimping as this one does. I wouldn't say that this one had any sharp points to it, but this one here is just completely smooth except for this one little area here, and it's still not even jabby. This is nice. It's very good. There's a reason why it's considered one of the better ones of all the Hinderers. I don't know if I agree with that or not, but I don't dislike it, that's for sure. All right, well, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate you joining me. And if you like what I'm doing, then give me a thumbs up, please. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel. It helps me grow. And I look forward to the very next review. I've got some more knives, actually, some pretty good knives coming. So check in. Don't forget to subscribe. And I'll give you a hint. It's going to be an automatic knife. And couple of scales. I actually ordered a different Eclipse and two different scales. So I'm going to have two Eclipse. Oh, yeah, I want to show you. I brought this knife in. Oh, did I bring it in with me? Yes, I did. This Eclipse is a copy, or this ZT is a copy of this Eclipse. This is in 20 CV. It's a ZT0393 in glow in the dark scales, 0393 GLCF. So it's carbon fiber glow in the dark. It glows in the dark for a second. I mean, it doesn't bother me. You don't really see it. It's in your pocket. It doesn't really charge that well. I mean, at night, it'll glow, when it's out of your pocket. But at that point, who cares? I think, part of me would think you want to conceal a knife, so why do you want it glowing? But on the other hand, it doesn't bother me because it's in your pocket and you can't see it. Anyway, so whether it's glowing or not, you don't know it. This has great ergonomics. It has that Spanto blade. So then there's a reason why I like this one, because it was a copy of that one, and I like this one. So I'm just really enjoying these Hinderer knives, and I've got a couple more coming. So please stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Thank you very much for joining, and you have a great day.